Hello everyone, I'm Kana Taku. Today, I want to do the level 19 about this book about how to write more scholarly papers in English. The goal of level 19 is to finish the introduction section. So let's get started. What I did so far is to finish the methods and the results section. I really couldn't finish that much yesterday when I was recording the level 18, but after that, I'm done. Now I just finished. I changed a little bit about that title because yesterday I still had the keyword match versus mismatch. But when I did the literature review, I found a good word like congruence. I thought, oh, there you go. That sounds really good. So I want to use the value congruence instead of match versus mismatch. So I changed a little bit. And then after that, abstract. I don't have much for the introduction. This is just a copy and paste between, from the outline that I made about a week ago. So I actually gonna copy and paste the new title. I may still change, of course, after I talk to my co-authors. But so far, I have this one now. So, okay, one more time. So the title page, I don't have much yet, just for the tentative title. Abstract, once again, I don't have much. But for the introduction, all I have is this outline that I created a long time ago, just about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And then I had this paragraph about the current study, but I don't have much. But at least I finished the method section. So method section is now good to go. And then as well as results section, I decided to run 2 mixed ANOVAs and then a hierarchical regression analysis. I reported everything. I updated 4 tables, so all good to go. So the goal of today is to do the introduction section. The only thing that kind of telling myself whenever I write the introduction is just try not to be a perfectionist, because for the person, a person whose English is not the first language, even just thinking about the first sentence, should I use, say, indicate, suggest? Should I use the present study or the current study? Just those are the little things. Probably people don't even think about it. But for me, just once I start thinking about it, which sounds better, which sounds more natural, because I don't have any clue. It may take, half an hour or 1 hour to decide which word I should use. Of course, that's wasting of time. I don't want to do it. So I try just not to be a perfectionist whenever I write the introduction. All I want to do is, because I already have the main results, I just want to convince my readers and the reviewers and the editors why I wanted to report that results, why I did that kind of analysis. I wanted to show the background, why it is important, why I wanted to fill the gap in the literature, what kind of gaps I identified, those kind of things. And then at this current study, I wanted to talk about the purpose. So the current study examined, I just want to say the current study tested the following 3 hypotheses. And then sometimes I may not be able to just fill all of the paragraphs, but I'm not worried about it, because after this, I'm gonna send this to my co-authors. So while they're working on it, I still have a few time to fill the paragraphs. So just do whatever I feel comfortable. I'm just gonna start. So the current study, I have a vivid memory about what I wrote on my results section. So I'm just going to add it here. So the current study tests the following 3 hypotheses. First, we hypothesized that the perceived importance of different contents of values. For example, say financially, or more like stable life, or maybe finishing school, or improving society, that kind of thing, like different types of values. Which value is considered as important should vary across cultures. So that's one. And then second, we hypothesized that the perceived Value congruence. Congruence? Congruence, congruency, congruence. I'm not doing right. Whenever it happens, or maybe just congruence, I guess. But I just use Google, because most of the vocabularies are still unfamiliar. It's been probably I came here 2005, so it's been 17 years. Still not completely comfortable. So, and then I'm not worried about it. Instead, I'm saying value congruence. Value congruency? Oh, no, definitely no. So value congruence was okay. So value congruence, that's good. Value congruence. And I want to know how I'm going to do it. So value congruence, I want to know the gap between, for example, value congruence between myself, and, for example, friends. How do people say that? Person group value congruence. Value congruence between coworkers. Why value congruence leads to positive outcome? Interesting. Value congruence could actually lead to the positive outcome. I like that. I gotta check that later. And then what else? Between value congruence and the nurses. So that's a different idea. I wanted to know, I would like to thank my family and friends for their continued support using the level of value congruence. Means of value congruence. There are a lot of studies about value congruence. I want to know effects of value congruence, but what kind of congruence? Congruence, invest in value congruence between ministries and their quangos, between that and that. So I can do that. So value congruence between self and family. So for example, we hypothesized that the perceived value congruence between self and the family maybe should be, for example, because of the diversity in the United States, I wonder if between self and maybe not family, but self and, for example, country should be larger in the country, the diversity, heterogeneous, homogeneous. What's that? That's another one. That's another one I wanted to find. Homogeneous. Homogeneous versus heterogeneous. Good. So yeah, heterogeneous mixtures have a visually distinguishable components, while homogeneous is uniform. So I think I wanted to say it should be larger in a heterogeneous. I'm spelling right. Heterogeneous culture like the United States than more homogeneous cultures like Japan. Third, because of those cultural characteristics, due to these cultural characteristics, not just the importance of each value, but the perceived congruence should affect mental health, perhaps more for people in Japan than those in the United States. Okay, something like that. Then and here, now I want to start with some background, and I will explain why I believe it's important to take a look at the personal values. Yes, I need something, but then if so, I would do more literature review. I may still have it in my computer, but whenever I wanted to have some kind of background, especially for this paper, I want to talk about how values explained or predicted behavior. under COVID-19 pandemic. So I want to use that. Value, COVID-19. Oh, there are a lot. Maybe the value should be included as a title, value or values. And then, so that's good. Ideally, oh, very interesting. Value, citizens. COVID-19, not civic values, more like personal values. I don't want to have a predictive value because that's, so I'm just gonna not included predictive as title. Does it help? It doesn't help that much. Yeah, but say that due to the role of perceptions in civic values, most values, advertising values, core values, support values, rising home values. There are a lot of different types of values here. I wanted to have not the group level human values. Oh, that sounds interesting, maybe. Geographic variation, archive data. It's COVID-19 more than emotional stability traits. I wish I could just click now. Some of the journals are not open access. So when I was recording, probably not a good idea to open everything. But yeah, there are a lot of interesting journals here, the role of values in coping with the health economic threats. So those are good. So the value, at least I can use that. So it seems like studies already revealed that values either directly or indirectly through, for example, coping method, indirectly affect human behaviors during the pandemic. For example, then I'll do literature review to talk a little bit more about kind of like, because it's introduction, it's the first paragraph. I wanted to have some kind of welcoming, like, oh, it's easy to read, like understand, like easy to understand that kind of introduction. And then introduction of it. Yes, introduction of the introduction. So it has to be easily understandable. Yeah, I already said it. I want to write about why values should be more studied, why values should be more studied by using narratives, for examples, or somebody else's quotes. I'm not going to do quotes. I will just do the literature review. I wanted to do here. And then theoretical background, according to Schwartz's theory, why. Now I want to explain why values should be. And then after that, we're talking about how values affect people's attitudes. And then I thought originally within individual differences, I was going to do that. But here, I wanted to explain that do more literature review about value congruence, because that's something that I did not do the enough literature review before. So I just do need more articles here. Okay, so I'm going to do it, because the level 19 is everything about introduction. So all I got to do is just because I don't want to cite any studies under the current study paragraph. I wanted to cite all of the literature in the introduction section so that by the time they read current study, everything should be just natural, like, oh yeah, they should follow my rationale. Then I thought, oh, okay, yeah, of course you have this kind of purposes and hypothesis. That way there is no like going back or going forward. It's just people can actually read from the beginning to the end. So I think that's what I want to do. At least I just started, had like only a few sentences so far, but it seems like I can do literature review by using the keywords of COVID and the values, also value congruence. So I'm just going to keep going. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm going to finish level 19 today and tomorrow so that I can finally do the discussion sections tomorrow. And that would be the level 20. Submission is approaching. We will get there. So thanks for watching, and then I'll see you soon.